Happy Easter Sunday. I hope everybody's having a great day. It was looking pretty ominous outside here for a while. I woke up and the sun was shining, and then it turned black and scary looking, and now the sun is out again with puffy white clouds in the sky. So I hope everyone else is enjoying good weather. I remember that when I first moved to Oregon, sometimes it would hail and snow on Easter. So I remember my kids having to do their Easter egg hunts inside the house because no way we could hide Easter eggs in the snow or the hail, or just rain. Anyway, it's gorgeous today. I hope all the families are out having a good time. Excuse me. So I'm Tanya, and I imagine you know that since you're on my Facebook page. And I'm a Tupperware dealer, and you probably know that too. Anyway, I'm going to make red beans and rice for dinner tonight. Since it's just me, we're not, I had a great dinner with my friend Carms yesterday. But for just me and to feed me for the rest of the week, I'm going to make red beans and rice. And I wanted to come on and say happy Easter to everybody. And I also wanted to fill you in on my St. Patrick's Day. So I started posting about making the bread and the Irish stew, the Irish soda bread and the Irish stew. And I started making the brownies. So I just wanted to fill you in because I didn't end up finishing because the kids got here before dinner was done. So I will make a different recipe for the pork Irish stew next time. I think I'll try it without the beer in it. Something was really just bothering my tongue, and I think it was probably the beer. Let's see. The soda bread turned out exactly like it was supposed to. I think I may have overcooked it a bit, but I also think that, like the videos said, if it sits for a little while, then, like you wrap it and then the crust isn't quite as hard. It just seemed a little tough to me, and I didn't need it, so I'm not sure what was up with that. Practice makes perfect, right? So I'll just keep going. And the brownies were really good. They had a strange texture to them. They called for 5 eggs. Thought that was interesting. But anyway, they just had a funny texture, like powdery. But on day 3 of sitting in the pan covered, they were so good. They just were moist and held together. They weren't as crumbly. So make those ahead. And those were the, what were they? They also had the Irish Stout in them. So, anyway, I can still go back and post pictures. The soup looked amazing in the bowl. And the kids liked it, so whatever it was just my taste buds. Anyway, so today I am going to make the red beans in my pressure cooker, and I have already soaked them overnight and put them back in the pressure cooker. So right now I'm just gonna cut up the veggies that I'm going to put in it. And I'm going to use my SuperSonic chopper. This is the, I don't remember what the names of them are. I'm so sorry. It's the bigger one though. I think it's the biggest one. Anyway, so I'm going to take it apart. Now this part comes apart. So this is easy you can put this part in the dishwasher. This piece you do not want to put in the dishwasher. And there's a little bit of you don't have to open it up. The old ones we had, I pretty much had to open it up and clean it every time. But they decided to make life easier for us. Isn't that what Tupperware is all about? Anyway, so you just twist it apart, and I'm not going to do that right now. But so this is what I call the engine. And to make it work, you just pull the string like you would a lawnmower. Okay? But hang on, there's more. So this is the ring. This is the funnel, and you just put it in this little part right here. You open it up, put the funnel. It's got a little, it goes in a certain way, right? And it has measurements inside of it. See if you can see the measurements. All right. So this is for like if you're making hummus. You know how you put the chickpeas in there and then you have to grind them up, but you want the oil in there, but you don't need the oil in there all at once. So you can pour it into here, turn it so that there's a way so that it's all the way open. This is the way for it to be all the way open, so the oil would go in there a lot faster. If you turn it this way, the oil goes in slower, and if you turn it this way, the oil doesn't go in at all. So you'd put the oil in there, and then when you're all ready to start blending up the chickpeas. So this is like a food processor, except you don't have to have electricity for it. Anyway, then you would just turn it to however fast you want the olive oil to go down in there. All right, I'm not going to use this today. So I'm going to close that back up. And this is the blender. You can use this for making cake mixes or just stirring up eggs if you just need to beat some eggs. You can use this for anything that just needs to be beat. Not your kids though. And this is the blade. Now, I love that it comes with the blade guard, because that way I'm not going to stick my fingers in there accidentally and chop them off. And they are so sharp that you actually could do that. I've been hearing stories about this. Somebody had a party, and they were demonstrating this when it first came out, so they didn't really know how to use it. Anyway, they were doing something, and the blade went flying across the room and caught somebody's foot, and they had to have stitches. I mean, it's that sharp, okay? Quite a few of my fellow consultants have talked about needing stitches. So you can put this in the microwave to wash it, but you want to make sure that as soon as you're done with it, you put the blade guard back on it. Do not put it away without the blade guard on it. All right, so I'm going to be using this, and it has this, well, you know what? It has a silicone ring on the bottom, so it's not going to slip and slide all over the place on your counter. Then it has this little knob thingy in the bottom, and that is what goes in this little hole right here. Now that I've talked about other people cutting themselves, watch, don't let me do that. All right, so I'm going to put that down in there, attach it to the little knob, and I'm going to, tell you about my Tupperware knife. So I love that these also come with a blade guard, and that the blade guards are the same color as the handle. See? Because I really don't have to look very far in my drawer to find the blade guard and that matches the knife. Anyway, I'm gonna put some celery. Let me see if you guys can see me. This is my little Tupperware cutting board. Just gonna cut off the dried out ends of my celery. And the bottoms look good, but yeah. And I'm just gonna put chop the celery into chunks about this size. Drop them in there. along with three cloves of garlic. That was 2 sticks of celery, 3 cloves of garlic, and it called for, you know, some green pepper. And when it says green pepper, I feel like it's leaving that open to my discretion. So I'm going to use a poblano pepper, not a bell pepper. And I'm just going to cut it up a little bit so I can throw it in there. I like the poblano because it's a flat pepper, like the kind of like an Anaheim or a Hatch chili, but it has a stronger flavor. I like that. I like that. See how dark green it is? I just really like that dark green flavor. So I'm going to toss that in there. And let me see. I'm not sure if I want this whole onion. I like onion. I like it, you know, to flavor up my food, but I don't like it to take over. So I really like this small cutting board because I don't have a lot of space here. And so that cutting board is like just the right size for this little space. When I'm doing larger items, I go over to my other counter and I have a larger cutting board that I use over there. So it's easier to let my SuperSonic chopper do its job if I don't put a whole onion in there or even a half. So I'm just gonna like quarter them, sort of. Put those down in there. It's a pretty dense onion. Let's see. And I think I'm forgetting something. Maybe not. All right. So first I'm going to put the ring onto my SuperSonic chopper base, and then I'm going to put the engine on there and lock it into place. Now I am going to give it a few tugs. I probably filled it too full. Huh. Yes, I did. I should have put something in first. Oh, the celery's got it blocked up. So you just have to make sure that the top fits into here. Right now it's tilted a bit because I just shook it all up. All right. Gives me trouble when I'm doing it in front of people. Never gives me trouble when I'm doing it when nobody's looking. I don't want to stick my finger in there and chop it off. Ooh. There we go. Oh, come on. I just used this the other day. So, this really is not a difficult item to use, making it look much harder than it is. There we go. It had gotten caught up on those celery stalks. So I'm just going to pull it a few times. It's, even though it's colored, it's clear enough that you can see through it enough to see if the pieces are about the size that you want them to be. And they are, I think. Still some big chunks of pepper in there. Looks good. Smells amazing. All right. Okay. So, I think that's about right. So, here's my pressure cooker. My microwave pressure cooker. And I know that I've told you about it a lot of times, so I'll just go over it really quick. So here is one of the safety mechanisms. This little yellow button is the pressure indicator, and when it's in the microwave and it's cooking, it's going to pop up to indicate that it's pressurized. And then after it's finished cooking, you just need to let it rest until it goes back down before you open it, because it's not safe to open if that's still standing up. There's a rubber grommet, silicone probably, right here, because there's another safety measure just right here, the little hole, so that when you open this, it can release pressure really fast. This is also a grommet that will allow pressure to release from here so it doesn't overpressurize. Okay, then there's a little arrow right here. You just want it to match up with the arrow on the handle when you put the lid on. And I'll show you how to close it in just a bit. So here are my beans that I soaked overnight and rinsed and then put them back in here. I am now going to just put my veggies in there. I always forget something. Maybe if I had a cooking show, I should call it I Always Forget Something. I just want to make sure I get all the goodies out of here. And there are no big chunks still left. I think the size of everything is just about perfect. Sometimes it's important that that everything is about the same size for evenly cooking times. And in that case, I just chop it with a knife. But in this case, it's going to be kind of like a soupy kind of a thing, so it doesn't really matter, and it's going to be all pressurized, pressure cooked in the microwave, so it's all going to cook at the same time anyway. Alright, so now I made up a Cajun blend because I don't like things very spicy. I do like a little bit of cayenne, but typically the Cajun seasonings that I purchase are just too spicy. And it calls for 1.5 tablespoons for this amount of Cajun seasoning. So thankfully I really like this because Tupperware, the spoon set, the measuring spoon set, actually has a 1/2 tablespoon. Be right back. That's right, a 1/2 tablespoon. And it's right here, 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm just going to put 3 of these in there. And I made this up yesterday and put it in my Tupperware spice shaker that I really love. Just labeled it. Alright. Now, I'm just going to put some vegetable broth in here. You can put anything, probably even water would be fine. Chicken broth, whatever. You want to make sure that there's enough that it doesn't go over the max fill line. There's a line in here that says max fill line. And I push the limit all the time. But you want to make sure that everything that's in the pot is submerged in water, because Jane would tell you exactly why that's important. And I still don't have that part memorized, because I'm just like, yeah, who cares? Just throw it in the microwave. But the oven is a, oh goodness, I've forgotten already. Typical oven is a dry cooker. Crock pot is a wet cooker. The microwave, seems like I remember that when the last time she explained it to me, it seemed like it was counterintuitive. But anyway, the microwaves are attracted to fat, water, and sugar. So you have to make sure that everything is covered, because otherwise it will be on the outside and it'll get turned into a block of, like a brick, you know? A block of, what are we? I think that pepper got me. Carbon. A block of carbon. Okay. So now, I'm just going to put this lid on. Look at that. That looks scary to me. I don't like looking at that. I don't want to reach over. I don't see very well, so all I can just see myself just reaching over there to grab something and catching it on that blade. Okay, so arrow to arrow, put this lid on, and then I'm going to twist it. Now it's locked, see? This is not a handle. Do not pick your crock pot on your pressure cooker up by this is a lock mechanism, not a handle. So it's locked. Now I'm going to double lock it. I'm going to just push this in just a little bit and down through this hole in the lid. All right, so now it can't go this way and it can't go that way. And that is because apparently when something is pressurized, it can vibrate, like turn. So this way it can't turn, it can't pop off while it's in the microwave. And I guess it's ready to go in. So I will let you know when it comes out. It takes 30 minutes in the microwave. My microwave does not like me to cook for 30 minutes. So probably I will put it in my microwave for 15 minutes and then let it depressurize, let my microwave cool down a little bit, and put it in for another 15 minutes. So I will share pictures when it's done, and then I'll make my rice later. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye. Hey, happy Sunday, you guys. And yep, it's still the same day it was an hour ago. Anyway, hey, my beans, I just took them out of the microwave. Finally, I got really distracted and a whole bunch of different things happened. But I also wanted to practice using my microwave rice maker. So, but I didn't want to do it in front of you guys in case, in case it didn't work out. So I'm excited to say that this was the first time I've used the rice cooker, and it came out. So here's the cover, and there's three parts. There's the base, and then there's this part right here that is to keep the rice from boiling over. I've already opened it and stirred because I wanted to just see how well it worked. So, so this keeps it from boiling over, and you can see that all that white starch, that's from where the rice, did boil and the steam came up, and so it's there. And there is also steam in here. It's all wet. But let's see, I put it in for 5 minutes on high power, and then another 15 minutes on medium power. So I put it on 5 or 50% power. And so this is how it looks after I fluffed it up. Can you see that very well? I'm never really sure how my lighting is going to turn out for you guys. Anyway, so there we go. There's my rice. Let's see, anything else I need to tell you? I didn't season it at all. Oh, I should have put butter in it maybe. And I didn't. I thought about using chicken broth, but I thought I would wait until I make sure I know what I'm doing first, in case I ruined it. So now I'm just waiting for the pressure indicator to go down on my pressure cooker. And it looks like it did. What I love about this stuff is, I almost never have to use the hot pads, because even though it's hot, it's still finger warm. So here's my pressure indicator, and it has gone all the way down. Now I put it in for 15 minutes because my microwave, it gets overheated really easily, and I need to go get a new one. I put this in for 15 minutes, and then I waited for I don't know, at least half an hour before I put the rice in for another 20 minutes. And then I put the timer on and waited for another half an hour to put this back in there, because it was supposed to be 30 minutes, but I did 15, and now I'm doing the other, and then I did the other 15. So it has been just kind of taking me all day. Not because there's anything wrong with this, but because my microwave just is not set. It's not, what do you call it? It's just not big enough. It's not hardcore, heavy duty enough. And it works great for, heating my food and cooking quick things. But, alright, anyway, I am going to unlock the first locking mechanism. I think my lighting, see, it's so much later in the day that the light coming in the window is different. Alright, so I'm just gonna push this in a little bit with my thumb and lift it up. Okay, and hopefully they're done this time. And I'm going to twist so that the arrows meet up, and then I'm going to open this. I'm going to open it away from me so I don't get a steam bath, bean steam. And I'm going to give it a stir, and it just feels like the beans really aren't done enough yet. I'll probably put it in for another 15 minutes, but that's going to take a long time because I'm going to have to wait probably. So even though I waited half an hour in between times I used it, it didn't cool down a whole lot, the microwave. So I'm going to taste a bean. By the way, in case I haven't ever told you or you've never heard me tell you, this silicone spatula is the best thing in the world since Carter's old pills. Oh, the beans are done. Okay. Mmm. Tasty. Woo, hot. Burnt my tongue. Okay, well, I guess it seems like there's a lot of juice in here. I didn't expect that. I thought the beans would soak up that water. So hopefully, by the time I'm ready to eat my beans and rice, they will be, I don't know, maybe they'll soak up some more water. Anyhow, I just wanted to share with you all of that. And I've been using the heck out of my pressure cooker lately. You know, right now, Tupperware is having this special where you get 2 free gifts when you spend, when you order $119 worth of product. And you can get this baby right here for $159, I think it is. So you would get your 2 free gifts right off the bat. Add, let's see, what would that be? Add another $40 to your order. Maybe somebody wants to go in with you. There is something in there that makes me cough. It did it when I was making it too. Anyway, so make it a $200 order and I'll make it a party, and then you get more free gifts. So think about it and let me know. Just type into the chat or message me. I'd love to help you. I'd love to give you free Tupperware. That's my real goal in the whole world. My ultimate goal in the whole world is to give you guys free Tupperware. Okay? So, I'm going to let these rest a bit because, you know, 25% of the cooking does take place after you take it out of the microwave. So, those beans will soften up a little bit more even. They were soft, but I like them mushy. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.